Hi, this is Attila, and this is a Steel Division Normandy 44 battle group guide for the Luftlande. This is an airborne unit, and I will explain to you the rationale for the setup I did here, and let's get on with it. Okay, so phase A, I used the SPA troops, which have a fast-moving vehicle, and I guess they are a good recon. A lot of experience here, because they have those guns. I guess they are even potentially good at fighting in the town. I get 3 groups of them, and then I use the FSPZ Hamvar, and this is a version of a recon which has an anti-tank Panzer Shrek, I think. Yeah. So this is my group of units, all for phase A. Those recons are super good because the range of this anti-tank is 250. You can put them in forest and that's super effective. While the SF SPA troops, they are good at fighting the enemy in town or out of the town, so good unit in both cases. Infantry wise, I use the Truppen, so these are the Eastern troops. They cost very little, only 10 points, and you can use them for 2 purposes mainly. You can, well, actually more than 2, let's say 3 at least. So you can use them to hold the line. You can use them to ensure that you have your supply line safe if you decide to push further with your paratrooper. You can also use them to push forward as a wide front because you have many of them and they don't cost much, and you can expect them to die, and that's okay because they don't cost much. They are certainly not the most amazing infantry ever, but they do a good job for what it's worth. Then I bring those Führer, which have some heat anti-tank grenade. That's kind of good. Sadly, they don't have an anti-tank with much reach other than 100 meter. I bring 2 group of them because they really provide a lot of experience to the troops around them, so you can use that for anti-air, artillery, or whatever you want to bring, as well as infantry or tank. They should be providing good experience to your troops. Then I use the MG34. That's very useful if you want to capture a town, and you'll be able to hold it and suppress the enemy infantry with that MG34. Then I bring 2 group of Jaeger with a lot of experience, and they have Panzer Faust 60, so 4 rounds of it, I think. Yeah. And this is like your main unit. With these, you're able to beat everything. Of course, everything which isn't to the right condition to be beaten by that. I think they are also pretty fast. 20 kilometer an hour. Well, let's see. This is 15, and this is 20, and this is 18. So they are a bit faster than most other infantry. Then finally, I bring some Pioneer because it's a good overall unit. It doesn't have much anti-tank, but it's doing a good job usually to fill any gap. And at that point in phase B, you mostly need troops to fill the front line, so there's no hole and less risk of being flanked or sneaked around. Okay, tank-wise, those paratrooper have a good diversity of tank. You can take whatever type of tank you want, but in my case, I decided to go with a Stug 3 for phase C. The other tank, it's like this one, could be good. Each of them are okay for some purpose. For example, the Panzer to D5, it's good early on, and this one, the Panzer to D9H, you can also hurt the enemy a bit with that, but they are usually outclassed by whatever tank shows up. So That's why I decided to really rely much more on my infantry for the early stage, and the tanks are just not up to it. Okay, support. I bring some Flammenwerfer, I suppose. I'm not sure. This is a flamethrower, only 2 men, so that's a bit disappointing. But you put that into a wood or in a building, or you just make them mix up with the rest of your infantry, and you might be able to hurt the enemy a little. They also have good experience, so that make them effective. But they are only 2, so they die easily. Then I bring some Kumbel Mun, which is supplies for phase A, and I bring additional supply for phase C. Okay, phase A of anti-tank, I bring some Panzer Shrek, 2 group of them. They have a lot of experience, similar to the Recon version. You still have a very good range of 250 meters, and it's a really effective anti-tank capacity to spread around the map. Then I use some Pak 36 37 millimeter, which here the anti-tank capacity was fixed, but you still have those heat rounds over here, which have 20 armor piercing. But it's a really good anti-tank overall. You can suppress the enemy and you can spread them around. Also bring a Pak 40 75 millimeter, good range on that, and pretty standard. 15 armor piercing, which means that from phase A to phase B and even a good portion of C, you can kill whatever tank shows up. On the other hand, you will likely lose it to airstrike, because this is pretty much a trend right now. While here for phase B, I bring additional Pak 38 50 millimeter. It's 10 armor piercing, but that's good enough. And for phase C, I bring some martyrs, even though I really did not have much success with them yet. It has a good anti-tank gun. You can kill most enemy tank, but this is an open vehicle, so many airstrike can kill it easily, and even artillery can probably kill it. Anti-air, I bring this Flag Veerling, which is really good at killing the enemy. I bring also Flag 36 37 millimeter, which is really good at chasing the enemy away. And 2 anti-air, 2 Flak 36 88 millimeter anti-air for all at stage C. So this is a bit strange, but all the Flak 38 20 millimeter here are just worthless as far as I experience. This might change, but as far as I know, not yet. Okay, so artillery. I bring this off-map artillery for phase A. Super powerful. You can really destroy an initial push with this, or at least route it. So I use this with off-map artillery. You have 3 of them per unit, so very good unit to start with, and you use one right at the beginning, because you can really surprise the enemy with that. Then I bring this SF 396 R+, which is an artillery piece that has an acceptable range and a good HE power, so good for the middle of the fight. And then I use this BEO Campbell with even bigger caliber than the original unit here, and that's for later stage, just to suppress the enemy. Now, Air Force is the main strength of this deck, so that's why I'm using good air-to-ground anti-tank plane, the HS 129B3. And with this, you can kill whatever tank shows up. Then I use 2 groups of, for phase B, I use 2 groups of Messerschmitt 109 R6. With these, they also have experience, so that makes them very effective at shooting down the enemy planes. Additionally, I bring 2 more of those HS 129B3 with their big cannon, which can kill tanks, so that lead to 5 globally. And finally, I use the GU-88S, to a group of them with bombs. And with this, you will deal with any tank, well, not tank, but infantry or position, even artillery or anti-air. You can suppress this effectively with this one, because I think it actually fly higher than other units, but I'm not sure. It just looked like it. So this is pretty much it for this deck presentation. So I hope you appreciate that, and I'll give you the link, well, the code for this in the description below, and I will also provide you a video guide which illustrate to you how to use this. So I'll see you there.